A lot of people who want to start creating their own manga typically struggle with two common issues. Either they can't come up with an idea for their story, or they already have an idea and don't know how to organize it into a plot with story arcs. Imagine you have characters, you have a world, you might even have a general sense of where the story ends up. But when you sit down to actually map out how you get from chapter 1 to the finale, everything falls apart. You don't know where one arc ends and the next one begins, or how many arcs you even need. And the whole thing starts to feel impossible before you've even written a single page. In this video, we'll cover 5 easy methods that will help you plan out your story arcs, so you can stop staring at a blank outline and actually start creating the story you've always wanted. But before we get into the methods, let's make sure we're on the same page about what a story arc actually is, because a lot of writers mix this up. A story arc is a mini story within a larger story. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It moves the plot forward, and it typically resolves something before the next arc kicks off. If your protagonist gets destroyed in a fight and spends the next 20 chapters finding a mentor and training until they can win a rematch, that's a training arc. If the main cast has to travel to a new kingdom to retrieve something that'll shift the power balance of the story, that's also an arc. Arcs don't distract from the main plot. They are the main plot, broken into digestible, structured pieces. And it's important to understand that story arcs are not the same thing as character arcs. A character arc is the internal journey a character goes through over the course of the story. It doesn't have neat start and stop points. It bleeds across chapters and arcs without a clean timestamp. A story arc is about events. Chapter 4 to chapter 30. This happened, then this concluded. Those are two different things, and confusing them will make outlining your manga twice as hard as it needs to be. So make sure you understand the difference between story arcs and character arcs. There are a few common story arc types that you'll see in shonen manga. The introduction arc is where you establish your main cast of characters, world building, special rules that affect the world, and the threat or conflict that's going to drive everything forward. Treat the introduction arc like your foundation. If it's weak, everything you build on top of it will wobble. Next is training arcs. The training arc is when your protagonist or main cast realizes they're too weak for what's coming and must find mentors, learn new techniques, or develop a completely different approach to fighting. This is basically a requirement for battle shonen series. You'll usually see your protagonist go through multiple training arcs. Next are tournament arcs. The tournament arc puts your characters in a competitive environment, like an Olympic-style matchup for fighters, where they showcase their abilities against opponents of various difficulty. It's a great way to introduce new characters and raise the power ceiling. Then you have war arcs. The war arc is the climax. Good side versus bad side, fully committed, nothing held back. This is usually where the story's biggest losses happen. And the finale arc is everything after the climax. How the dust settles, how characters move forward, and how the story closes. You don't have to hit all 5, and you can have more than one of each. Naruto, for example, has multiple training arcs. One Piece builds an entirely new arc structure around each island, and each of those islands is essentially its own complete story. These common arcs are just patterns you can use as a reference, but you can create any type of story arc you want. Now let's get into the 5 methods. Method number 1, use a framework. This is the most recommended starting point, especially if you've never planned a long story before. A framework isn't a prison, it's a skeleton. You take the framework template, you plug your story into it, and then you look at what you've got. From there, you start grouping sections of your plot into defined arcs. There's the hero's journey, which maps the protagonist's transformation from ordinary world to crisis to return. Then there's Save the Cat, which is more plot-driven structure and great if you struggle with pacing. There's Dan Harmon's Story Circle, which is like a simplified take on the hero's journey. And there's also the Snowflake method, which starts small and expands outward, from a one-sentence premise to a full outline, step by step. There are endless writing frameworks to choose from. Use the one you like best. In my previous video on story structure, I also put together a modified version of Kishotenketsu's framework, built specifically for shonen. The traditional Kishotenketsu has 4 parts: introduction, development, twist, and conclusion. The problem is that's too vague for a long-running story. It doesn't tell you where the character development goes, when to introduce the villain, or how to pace your battles. So I split the development section into 3 chunks: development part 1, 2, and 3. That gives you 6 total parts: introduction, development 1, development 2, development 3, twist, and conclusion. Each of those parts maps directly to a story arc, with room to insert more arcs inside each section as your story grows. That one already has 6 story arcs baked into it. If you haven't watched it yet, the link is in the description. Method number 2, write a vomit draft. This method comes straight from novel writing, and it translates perfectly to manga planning. A vomit draft is exactly what it sounds like. You write the entire story from start to finish without stopping to judge it, edit it, or make it good. You just get it out of your head and onto the page. The The whole point isn't to write something great. It's to make the story exist in a form you can actually look at. Because right now, your story is living entirely in your head, and the inside of your head is a terrible editing environment. You can't see the structure. You can't tell where one arc ends and another begins. Everything is tangled together. When you write a vomit draft, that mess becomes visible. You can look at it and say, okay, these 40 pages are all about the same problem. That's an arc. Or, there's a clear shift in tone and stakes here. That's probably where the next arc starts. The draft is chaos, but it's organized chaos. And organized chaos is something you can work with. After you write it, step away. A few days, a week, whatever you need. Let your brain reset. Then come back and read it like a reader, not a writer. You'll start to see the natural breaks in the story. That's when you go in and start fleshing it out more. The vomit draft isn't about getting the story right. It's about getting the story out. You can make it good later, but you can't edit something that doesn't exist. Method number 3, use mind maps. Some people can't work linearly. They don't think in lists. They think in connections. If that's you, mind maps might be the most natural planning tool you'll ever use. A mind map is a visual diagram. You put a central idea in the middle, then draw branches out from it, connecting related ideas with lines. It looks messy. It's supposed to. The messiness is the point. When you can see your entire story spread out on a page, with lines showing you how the pieces connect, patterns start to emerge that you'd never find by scrolling through a document. For arc planning specifically, you could start with your main conflict in the center and branch out to the major events that feed into it. When you look at the clusters that form, those clusters are usually your arcs. Events that naturally group together, or share a common goal or resolution, belong in the same arc. Events that don't connect cleanly to anything nearby might be telling you something. Either they belong somewhere else, or they don't belong in the story at all. You can do this digitally with free tools like Miro or Milanote, or you can do it physically with index cards and a table. Write one event per card. Spread them out, move them around, group them. The physical act of rearranging cards gives you a relationship with your plot that staring at a screen doesn't. It slows you down enough to actually think. Method number 4, start with character arcs instead of story arcs. Manga is character-driven. More than almost any other medium, the audience comes back because of who these people are, not just what's happening to them. So if you're struggling to plan your story arcs from a plot-first direction, try reversing it. Start with character arcs instead. Write out the internal journey you want each main character to go through, not what happens to them externally. Who are they at the start? Who do they need to become? What's the wound that drives them? What's the moment they finally change? Once you have that for your main cast, you treat it like a puzzle. You figure out how to make each character's internal arc work in tandem with the others. If your protagonist needs to learn to trust people, and your secondary character needs to learn to stop sacrificing themselves for others, those two arcs create natural friction. They can push against each other across multiple story arcs before finally aligning. When you have the character arcs mapped out, the story arcs often reveal themselves. Because a story arc is really just the external event that forces the internal change. The training arc exists because the protagonist might need to learn humility. The events serve the characters. So if you know the characters, you can figure out what events they need. This is especially useful for Shonen, where the emotional core of the story is usually the bond between characters and the personal growth of the protagonist. If you know who Luffy needs to become, you know what One Piece needs to put him through. The events follow the character. Method number 5, write a chronological list of events. This is the least glamorous method on this list, but it might be the most effective. You write out every single thing that happens in your story, in order, from the very first scene to the very last. Not in paragraphs, not in chapters, just a plain list, event by event. This happened, then this happened, then this happened. If you do this thoroughly, you might end up with a list of 200 or 300 items. That sounds like a lot. It's supposed to be a lot, because the length of the list isn't the problem. The length of the list is the point. When you have every event in your story written out in sequence, arc planning becomes almost mechanical. You look at the list and you start seeing where the goals shift. When the cast is working toward a single objective that eventually resolves, that's one arc. When a new objective takes over, that's the start of the next. You can also section the list as you go. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 in broad strokes first, then go back and divide it further. What sits inside Act 2 might naturally break into 2 or 3 arcs once you can see all the events laid out. Patterns that were invisible when the story lived in your head become obvious when they're numbered in a list on your screen. This method is boring and tedious, but if you're the kind of writer who gets lost, this forces you to be concrete. Every item on the list is a real moment in the story. Something actually happens. And making those decisions, even imperfectly in a first pass, is what moves you from planning to building. The list also makes it incredibly easy to spot problems. If 30 events go by without the main conflict advancing, you've got pacing issues. If your protagonist disappears from the list for long stretches, you've got structure issues. The list makes these problems visible long before they're added to the finished pages. In conclusion, here are the 5 methods for planning out your manga story arcs. Use a pre-made framework like the hero's journey or kishotenketsu. Write a vomit draft to get everything out of your head and onto the page where you can actually see it. Use mind maps to find connections and clusters you'd miss in a normal format. Start with character arcs and let the plot follow the people. Or write a chronological list of events and let the arc reveal themselves through the sequence of events. And you don't have to pick just one. A lot of writers use 2 or 3 of these together. The vomit draft to get it all out, then a mind map to find missing connections. The method doesn't matter as much as the outcome. What matters is that you have a clear picture of what your arcs are, where they start, where they end, and why they exist. Once you have that, writing the actual script gets a lot easier. If this video helped you, hit the like button and leave a comment below. Also, if you want to get started writing your first one-shot manga, head over to mangascript.com to download the one-shot guide. It's a page-by-page breakdown of 3 high-quality manga one-shots, and it makes it 10 times easier to write your own script. And don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description. It's a great place to share your work and connect with fellow creators. Thanks for watching!